Hello, everyone. Today is Monday, July 22nd, and I'm your host, Ryan. You're watching Conversate with Ryan. Today, we have a special guest with us. He has been a trustee in 1983 and has been the mayor for the past 20 years of the very own Orland Park. Thank you for being here, Mr. McLaughlin.
I'm glad to be here.
Thank you. I want to ask you, first of all, how was it transferring from being a trustee to being a mayor of such a great South suburb?
Well, it's a good question because when I was trustee for 8 years, you kind of learn the ins and outs of the village government. You learn who's who, so it actually makes it a pretty easy transition. When somebody runs for mayor and they haven't been with the village, that would no doubt be a lot harder. So I was already 8 years in the village government, knew how the village worked, knew a lot of the people, and so it really was an easy transition.
So you already had some background with how it works.
Right.
Now with that and being in this position for such a long time, what do you really think was the change that led Orland from a farm town into just grass and everything to this great restaurant and retail hub that we are today?
Yeah, that really started before I became even a trustee.
Wow.
Orland Park was a small community, I think about 7,000 people, something like that, when Orland Square was proposed and built. And once a big shopping center like that is developed, other businesses want to relocate around it, and then people want to relocate around near their jobs. So it's just kind of a domino thing. So when you get a big development like that, a big shopping center, that spurs all kinds of other economic development, and then people want to live near those jobs and opportunities.
Right. Now, talking about jobs, actually last summer you started the Job Initiative Program. So can you tell us a little bit more about that?
It was actually a few years ago, but it was mainly to help kids coming out of school for the summer match up with businesses in town that were looking for help, part-time help. So it was kind of a program where we provided the matching service, I guess. We would contact businesses and let us know if they needed one or two or three people for the summer. And then as kids come out of school, they come up to the village and kind of either signed up with us so that we can watch for them, or they would see what was already listed in terms of businesses that needed help. So we were kind of a matching service, I guess.
I think that's a great program, especially being testimony to that, because it's so hard nowadays coming home, finding jobs when everyone's in competition.
Well, not only that, but if you came out of school and you're looking for work, instead of going down the street knocking on every door, you come to one location. You see all the different businesses that are telling us they need help.
Right.
It helps you find something faster and easier.
That's good. Now, with all the construction going on at Orland right now, are there any upcoming projects that you're really excited about, or that you hope stores or restaurants may try to?
How long is your show? There's all kinds of projects and programs we're excited about.
Right.
We've been looking for the better part of my 28 years on the board to get LaGrange Road widened through the middle of Orland Park.
Right.
Huge project, waiting for almost 30 years. So that's finally getting started. So that will be a tremendous asset to solving traffic problems and congestion and that kind of thing. Because LaGrange Road will go from 2 lanes in each direction to 3 lanes in each direction, plus extra turning lanes at the big intersections, which all helps move traffic better and handle more traffic. Because as we have more businesses, you have more traffic. So this will be a huge benefit to helping at least solve those traffic problems.
Since we're such a tourism suburb with all the restaurants that we have coming in and the shopping, you get it all in one area.
If you can't find it here, you don't need it.
You may not find it nowhere else then.
But then the other big project we're working on, also in concept form for almost 20 years, is developing a walkable mixed-use downtown for Orland Park. So one thing Orland Park never had was a downtown community center.
Right.
So at 143rd and LaGrange Road, we've been working to develop into a metro-oriented mixed-use development, downtown city center. We've been in the planning stages and purchasing properties and doing all the, infrastructure work in that for the better part of 15 years, and it's finally coming to fruition, but there's a lot more to come. So right now it's about a 30-acre site at the new Metro train station there at 143rd. And we put the infrastructure in, the little park and the roads going through there and the water retention pond, which we made into a water feature as opposed to just a pond like a lot of neighborhoods have. And we spearheaded the development of the first big residential project in there, which is called 9750 based on the address, and that's luxury apartments. So that's going very well. A lot of interest in the triangle. development since then, since that apartment building started to get built and show success. So there's a lot of excitement in what's coming next because 30 acres, I would imagine, would be developed in the next 4 or 5 years. You'll see a lot happen in the next year or two.
And I think that's what's good about Orland too. We are already such a big suburb, but the fact that you guys already continuously start to plan for the next.
Well, you have to. I mean, if you are planning for the future and making little moves here and there to keep improving and progressing, then ultimately you're falling behind.
Right.
And if something happened in, say, a western suburb or a suburb west of us that started to encourage development, and all of a sudden you saw some businesses leaving Orland to be near the new development,
right?
People would no doubt ask me, well, we are trying to do something while we have a chance, while we're still attracting a lot of businesses and people to Orland. We're not just going to rest on our laurels. It's what do we do next to keep Orland Park on the forefront of progress and community programs to help keep people in Orland Park. So I think the downtown development will be a big project that we're all excited about, and I think you'll see a lot of action there in the next year or two.
That's good, and this actually leads me into my final question with you, and this may be a little tricky one, but how do you envision Orland in the next 10 years?
Well, a lot of things in the last 10 years. There have been a lot of road projects, a lot of growth, starting and getting into this downtown development. So I see Orland Park in the next 10 years as a little more complete, if that makes any sense.
Right.
We'll have a downtown community center. We'll have more social community events like our Taste of Orland and Orland Days and the things that keep people here. Concerts in the park. We're developing a kind of a Ravinia type concert venue over at Colette Highlands. So I think you'll see a lot of the things we've been working on for the last 15 years come to fruition in the next, you're saying 10 years.
Yeah.
In the next 10 years, you'll see a lot of that stuff completed, which I think will make Orland Park a more desirable, more complete community. Then our next step at that point would probably be to start looking at redevelopment. Like what little strip centers or areas of Orland aren't as attractive or productive as they should be, and how do we redevelop those areas? So I think the next 10 years will be completing some of these big projects we started and making Orland Park a more complete community. And then I think we start getting into the redevelopments of certain areas and certain commercial districts. So
thank you for being here. You guys heard it first from the mayor of Orland Park, Daniel McLaughlin. Thank you so much for being here, Dan. And today is Monday, July 22nd, and you are tuning in with Ryan, and this is Conversate with Ryan. Until next time, bye-bye.